You're watching the Central Post. This is Samiksha Ajay. 20 agreements were signed in Jakarta this week. A state banquet was held. A medal was pinned to Prime Minister's chest before noon. The question is what any of it actually changes. Let's start with defense. India has sold Indonesia BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles, a system that travels at nearly 3 times the speed of sound, and one Indonesia now joins the Philippines and Vietnam in owning. Alongside it, Indonesia will import India's Astra air-to-air missiles, the same system deployed during Operation Sindoor. The deal is worth an estimated $613 million. This is not a symbolic gesture between old friends. It is India entering Southeast Asia's defense market as a serious exporter, not simply a buyer. Now let's talk resources. Indonesia holds the world's largest nickel reserves, the mineral at the center of every electric vehicle battery being built today. India holds almost none. A new joint venture between the Steel Authority of India and Indonesia's Krakatau Steel will build a stainless steel manufacturing facility on Indonesian soil. India gains access to the raw material it lacks. Indonesia gains the technology and capital it needs to process what it already has. Both governments are calling it cooperation. It is more precisely two countries securing their place in a supply chain neither wants to lose. There is also a geography to consider, my favorite part. A new maritime security framework was finalized, and both sides agreed to jointly develop Sabang Port, barely 100 miles from India's own Great Nicobar project, both positioned along the Malacca Strait, one of the busiest and most contested shipping corridors on the planet after the Strait of Hormuz. Ports built this close together on a route this strategically important are rarely just about the trade. You know what I'm talking about. Now let's also take a look at culture and democracy because that was featured too. A restoration project at Yogyakarta's Prabhanan Temple, a new Tagore and Devantarat cultural area, and an election commission MOU. So what does this visit amount to? Weapons moving south, minerals moving north, and a second Indian port taking shape on the world's most washed waterway. The Prime Minister continues on to Australia next, where a similar conversation in a different meeting is likely to follow. That's all for today. Keep watching the Central Post and we'll keep you updated.